Right, so this is a bicycle light set from Fortified Bicycle. These are engineered to be theft-resistant bicycle lights. Kind of a little secret collar opening thing here. You can see how this works. You have to kind of push it in a little bit against the rubber gasket, and then we pop it, and it's hinged, so this doesn't come apart. What does come out from a directional type of a setup here, you'll see the two little contacts in here, the battery. This is a proprietary battery from Fortified Bicycle. You get one battery with each light. The batteries are the same regardless of what model of Fortified Bike lights you get, and they use basically the same plug that your Android smartphone would use to recharge the bicycle battery. Now, a lot of people have pretty good bike lights out there, different batteries. This proprietary battery system, kind of nice, but you know, a lot of people would wonder why we do this. Well, another bike light that I really like was the Blackburn Scorch, which has a built-in battery. You can't remove it, but it's also USB rechargeable. And the big bonus for that was that you can take it off, use it as a pocket flashlight. The problem is if you lock or keep your bike in the city and you lock up your bike in a public place, well, people can pull your accessories off, therefore somebody else could take that light off, put it in their pocket, and go away with it. With this light set, these are made to be permanently mounted on the bike using their proprietary security wrench. Now, this looks like the increasingly common Allen head security socket with a pin in the middle, but if you were to look at this more closely, you'd realize that this is a 5-pointed star. It's not a 6-pointed like an Allen head security socket. So these use a proprietary wrench, extra long screws, so you can deal with different diameters on bike stuff. And on some of the Montague stuff, you may need to take out this little padding in here because they're going to run full diameter on some of the mountain bikes. But basically, once this is permanently mounted, the rear would go on your seat post, the front, of course, would go in handlebars, then that's a good, powerful light that's permanently mounted on your bike. Now, they're going to come in two different versions that look almost the same. And the controls and functions are identical on the different versions, but one version tends to go for around $100, the other for $120. The Boost model, which goes for around $120, $125, I have to double check the pricing, basically has a little bit more powerful light in there. It's a more powerful light, and so in theory it might go through the battery a little bit faster, but I don't ride bike all night, okay? This is going to be a commuting distance. Based on my initial testing, these things are pretty darn efficient. You're really only going to have to charge these maybe once a week. Depends on how much nighttime riding you do and how long you go in between charges, but it is a lithium-ion battery. Now, the other thing you may have trouble finding on these things is the switch. The switch is actually the bulb. So, you know, these bulbs don't get hot, so having a greasy fingerprint isn't going to matter. So basically, you turn that on by pressing on the front of the bulb. You got a few different modes here, you know, a few different blinking modes you can play with. Every time you hit it, it changes mode. Now, how do you turn it off? You press it and you hold it in. And the reason for that is that if you bump the light or something jiggles it, it's not going to turn it off. It just changes the mode. You hold it in, it turns it off. So this is a Fortified Bicycle security light set. I'll have a product listing in the video, but we're not selling these yet, but we are endorsing them. And it's you know, pretty specific market for somebody who wants a theft-resistant light on a bicycle. The other thing I would consider something like this for is a backup type of lighting system on a motorcycle. Let's say you've got an off-road motorcycle that you want to use on-road. You can stick some of these things on there and at least be partially legal. That's just, you know, to be relatively safe, whether or not you're going to stick a license plate on that bike. Anyway, that's the Fortified Bike security lights.